told her grandchildren that the prince was in the middle of his duties, and that anyone who dared to speak of his hegemony would be disobeying the king's order. While we were all silent, the officials suddenly reported that the prince's time was running out, and the queen rushed to the East Palace in a great hurry to see the prince, who, at the tender age of 20, was lying on the cold ground. The queen was overcome with grief, and she was in a frenzy, not realizing that her brightest son had been a great genius. But before the queen could answer the prince's will, the prince died. Ever since the prince's death, the queen felt suspicious and went to the former queen to find out more about the queen's atrocities in the fight for her son's throne. After learning about the queen's atrocities in the fight for her son's throne, the queen broke out in a sweat and was shocked by the truth of the matter. Who really murdered the prince? On this day, Lao San told a big joke. If Yuan's son was not chosen as the prince, then the prince would not be chosen by me. Let's just watch and see. The next moment, the prime minister's army will take us back. It's none of your business who wears it, but the Empress Dowager told her grandchildren.
Anyone could have done it, as he referred to the honored one, Huang.
It was rumored that the prince had died in the queen's bedchamber and that the queen must have had something to do with his death. The queen, alone with the prince's clothes, felt a crisis of unprecedented proportions, and then her own personal court was seized and the prime minister forced the queen to submit to an interrogation. It was only when the queen returned to the court that she realized that the queen dowager had tainted herself by choosing for her son, and had completely denied her children the choice. The lord panicked and reminded the queen of the dire consequences if she was found to be using medicines from outside the palace. However, this was overheard by the consort who had been sent to investigate outside the palace, and she did not care about anything in order to ensure that her son would be crowned prince. She had a secret meeting with Lord Hyobu and asked her to support her son and to tell Hyobu about the queen's use of medicines from outside the palace, but Hyobu turned around and told him the news. The prime minister was worried that he would not have any evidence to bring down the queen, but he did not realize that the murderer of the prince was his own daughter, Huang Guoren, who had been trying hard to protect the throne of her grandson, Yi Xingjun, and who was surprised to learn that a daughter of the generals had done such a foolish thing as to make use of her beauty to persuade the medical officer to let her give medicine to the prince in secret. The daughter angrily argues that the throne of her father is hers and that the prince is a saint. She was just trying to bring things back to the right place, so what was wrong with her that she was given so much power and leadership? Meanwhile, the queen was questioning the doctor to see if her son had died of hemorrhagic syndrome. The doctor insisted that he had died of the disease. Then the queen told him to keep his mouth shut and use the medicinal herbs from outside the palace, and the doctor swore that he would not tell the truth as long as he could keep his mother in peace.